I wanted to share a quick message regarding identity shifting. If you identify as someone who is moving through an identity shift, meaning you are transforming yourself from the inside out and you are becoming a more powerful, stronger, healthier, more assertive, more authentic version of yourself, then this message is for you. And what I'm discovering as I'm moving through my own identity shifting is that you are going to naturally feel this sort of separation, this distance between you and the people that you have been associating with, throughout your life, throughout the past few years, like whoever is close to you, the people that you've been interacting with the most. And this separation, this feeling of separation is actually quite normal. And what I really have found to be true is that it's very, very important for you to not compromise yourself while you are moving through this massive transformation. And that you don't compromise yourself for the sake of others or for the sake of coddling other people's emotions or feelings. Okay. And the reason why this is so incredibly important is because there's going to be this natural inclination of your ego wanting to pull you back to that people pleasing, wanting to pull you back into that version of yourself who used to compromise yourself all the time to make other people happy, to do what other people expect of you. And what we have to realize is that people always create a story in their mind about who we are. Right? So I'm sure you've noticed within your own family, within your own circles, friendships, connections, that people formulate a story in their mind about you and who you are, which means that as soon as you stop acting or behaving or speaking in the way that their story tells them that you should behave or should act or should speak, they immediately usually take that personally, start to get defensive. People immediately tend to contract. They tend to have an uneasy feeling about you now because now you're not conforming to who they thought you were based on the stories that they created within their mind about you. So this is why it is important that you stop living up to their expectations, to their stories, and live up to the story that you are now formulating within yourself about yourself. Because our beliefs are nothing more than stories that we repeatedly tell ourselves over and over and over to the point that it is inserted within the subconscious mind, because repetition is the mother of learning, right? Repetition is what makes the master. So the more you repeat a belief about yourself, whether that's a positive or negative belief, the more that you are going to embed that belief and make it a part of your personality. So once you start to pluck those seeds, once you start to become this new version of yourself and you start to shed those old beliefs about yourself, you are going to naturally feel, like I said, the separation from other people, because now you're not living up to that standard or up to that story that perhaps even you believed for a long time about yourself. See, it's very interesting. And as the more I study psychology and the more I study the human mind, the more I'm realizing that as individuals, as people, because we are sort of herd mentality, right? We have a herd mentality just like animals. So we tend to feel better in groups. We tend to feel better in communities. Because of this, we are all very much projecting stories and identities onto each other. So for example, your mother may have a specific expectation of you, a specific way of seeing you. And notice how when you are with your mother or interacting with your mother, that you show up as that character that you know they expect you to be. And this is where identity shifting can get tricky, because it starts to get, it almost feels foreign to you to be a new version of yourself, to be someone else, because you're so used to people seeing you a certain way that you have adopted that way of being just for them. But see, the thing is that this is how you end up losing yourself. So don't be afraid of losing people. Be afraid of losing yourself. Because ultimately, that is what is happening when we are living up to other people's expectations of us. And you see, as we go through this transformative process, and the more you change, the more you become this better, more authentic version of yourself, the more you get to know who you really are. And the more that you are in alignment with that version of yourself, that new version of yourself, the more people around you are going to get uncomfortable. And that's normal. And that's okay. So I just wanted to put this message out here because I feel like there's so much change happening, especially with this Capricorn full moon that we just had. There's so many of us that are on this path of transformation, that are on this journey of becoming newer, better, more authentic versions of ourselves, that, you know, we need to understand that it is okay to become that version of yourself. So don't be afraid to lose people. Because you see, the other thing is, and this is something on a personal level that I'm experiencing, is that when I become this different version of myself and I'm no longer behaving and responding and doing things in the way that, maybe a certain family member sees me or the way that they imagine me to be, all of a sudden, they're upset with me and they're mad and they're disappointed and they're just like, like basically like, who are you, right? They're just confused about who I am because they are resisting accepting what is. And what is transformation. It is that process that I am moving through. But if someone around me doesn't accept that I am moving through a process of transformation, they're really going to struggle with accepting the new version of me. And this is something that I had to, time and time again, become very comfortable with and just get used to and allow myself to still honor me and stay true to myself and be who I want to be and, be this more authentic version. See, so many people wear masks. So many people pretend to be or are playing out a version of themselves that is not truly them. And we all innately do this because it's a habit, because it's so prominent in our society for so many people to wear masks and for people to not be authentic, for people to not reveal their true authentic selves because they're afraid that they're going to hurt someone's feelings. But see, feelings and emotions, and this is another understanding that is deepening within me, that feelings and emotions are nothing more than the byproduct of your thoughts and of your expectations. So the less expectation you have of others, the more open you can be and the more accepting you can be of how a person is, the less you suffer. Because you start to realize that they don't have to be in any other way than as they are. And if we don't match, if we don't align anymore, then that's all right. Then we move on and we connect with other people who are more in alignment with who we are or what we want. So don't trap yourself in staying a version of you that is not truly authentic to you. Don't be afraid to say how it is or how you genuinely feel about something. Don't be afraid to tell people the truth of how you see a situation or how you see them. This is the level of authenticity that is required for someone who is moving through an identity shift, for someone who is transforming and becoming a more enlightened, more ascended version of themselves. The most loving that you can ever be comes from and comes through authenticity. When you have the courage and the strength to look someone in the eye and tell them exactly how you see things and how you feel about things without worrying about how they're going to respond or how they're going to feel or how they're going to react to what you're saying. So honor yourself, stay true to yourself, keep moving forward on your path and on your journey of transformation. Remain as authentic as you possibly can. And remember that it is absolutely your sole job, no one else's, to do what is best for you. And this is a great way to stop these toxic cycles of people pleasing that so many of us perpetuate unnecessarily, because all it does is create everyone to wear a mask. And no one is truthful about how things really are or how they see them. Do not abandon yourself during your journey of transformation, and you most likely will be tested. I am continuously tested, and I actually love it because I'm recognizing how much value those tests have for me. They're constantly checkpoints. They're constantly showing me how far I've come or what I still need to work on. And as soon as you accept yourself as someone, as a soul who is a work in progress and will be for the rest of your life, that is the moment that you free yourself of your own expectations that are most likely rooted in false beliefs about yourself. So that is the message I wanted to share about identity shifting and about not compromising yourself on this very important, especially right now, very important journey of self-discovery. Thank you so much for watching. Hit a like on your way out and subscribe to the channel if you find this type of content helpful. And I will see you in the next video. Take care.